Hi folks, Puffin here with your Antifa News Briefing and Countdown to Arrest Trump, and thank you to subscribers. Thank you to all the people watching who have watched before, who are going to watch in the future. Thank you all. Thank you to all the fairies and other spirits who are helping make this magic happen. Thank you to the government for hopefully arresting President Trump, ex-President Trump, hopefully President Joe Biden, who's been president for 277 or 278 days now, will arrest Trump. That's why these video streams I've been doing have magically come together today on October 25th, 2021, which could very well be the day that Biden arrests Trump. I would love to stop making these countdown to the arrest of Trump videos, but currently we're at 87 days to go in Biden's first year in office to arrest Trump. But I'd like to stop it right there. 87 is a great number. They keep teasing us about this, but you kind of think, well, if they're teasing you about it, they're probably not about to do it. Or if they're going to say, hey, we're really about to arrest Trump, then he would escape or something. So maybe they'll, act like they won't for a second before they do. Whatever. Maybe they'll surprise us. It'll come out of the blue, although we've all been expecting it and waiting for it. That's what I wanted to say about this. I've been doing a countdown since about 105 days left in Joe Biden's first year. Not hoping to use all of them, but doing a countdown so people can guess which day they think he'll arrest him. And letting people know, reminding people, we've been waiting for this for 277, 278 days now. Most of us were expecting Trump to go to jail as soon as he left office, thinking that being president was the only thing keeping him out of jail. Which to these Trump supporters' minds, staying out of jail makes them think he's still president because for some reason, he's acting like it. He's claiming executive privilege, and Steve Bannon is somehow claiming executive privilege to not testify about the January 6th Trumpsurrection, which proves, as Liz Cheney pointed out, that they're guilty of it because they're trying to hide their involvement. Anyway, all sorts of reasons to arrest him. We had reason before that to arrest him. If you had arrested Trump earlier, it would have been doing him a favor because then he couldn't have done worse things. I've made this point plenty of times before. But this is just the idea of seeing the future. Okay, so we have a countdown to the end of Joe Biden's first year in office, in which he really should arrest Trump in that first year. Should have already done it. We're also having a count up to 1,000 subscribers and beyond. Thank you all for subscribing. But we've been doing a count up, and I've been doing thank you videos since about 68 subscribers because I wanted to make the joke, what number are we thinking of now? If you're really us. And you are really us. So there's this Fairy Liberation Front. I made a Fairy Liberation Front Facebook group. But all of this magic made me realize that there's a Fairy Liberation Front in the world, like a political movement, like a movement for rights. But there's also a Fairy Liberation Front within yourself. We have these fairy connections or fairies living within us or connecting to things within us that we can liberate. And we can express things, for instance, creativity is a type of liberation. So this Fairy Liberation Front is both going on in the world and in ourselves, and there's connections between those things. That's why when you notice these types of connections or synchronicity, such as my YouTube channel had 87 spots left to get to 1,000, which is significant on YouTube, and Joe Biden had 87 days left to arrest Trump in his first year, and that I've been making videos about both these things, and they came together. Well, I made a video about the fact that it's crossing the streams, these 2 or 3 streams, my Antifa News Briefing channel, Countdown to Arrest Trump, and thank you subscribers. Right after I made that video, I realized, no, it's crossing more streams than that. I also do a lot of nature videos, and in sharing the videos that I had on my camera roll, I got it up to 913, just like we had 913 subscribers today. Now we have 914, so thank you as well. And I'm about to do the sunsets for 914. So it's an interesting coincidence there, but things that are coincidental like that aren't just coincidental. They're magical. So there's 3 or 4 streams now coinciding. And when you have 4 streams coinciding, that conjures up ideas of the Ghostbusters, which if you see my previous video, I made one about how the Ghostbusters are maybe accidentally or magically a symbol of a superhero force above the police or above the FBI, above the corrupt forces that exist to support white supremacy and protect white supremacy. Who are you going to call? In these situations, who are you going to call? If you have a problem with the Proud Boys or white supremacists or Trump terrorists, who are you going to call? You can't call the police if they're in league with the Proud Boys. You got to call a superhero team. So we need to form that superhero team. And again, magically, ironically, thanks to fairy connections, The superhero team they form is the Ghostbusters, and they bust the ghosts, which the KKK, for instance, the Klan would use ghost costumes to be terrorists. So you need somebody to bust these ghosts. And we need that to happen now. We're crossing all four streams, which is significant in the Ghostbusters movie because it means something we've never done before. So, like arresting Trump has never happened before. It needs to happen. Also reminds me of during a Black Lives Matter protest, Doug McLean was streaming from New York City, and they were in front of the library that they recorded the Ghostbusters at. And I made some comment about the Ghostbusters at the same time. Magic stuff like this happens and can